Alright, welcome back. Border crossing, episode 5. This is part 3. I just crossed the border, another uneventful border crossing into Mexico. Went pretty quickly. Actually, it was more people. I should have mentioned this at the beginning. It's a Monday evening, 8:30 local time here, Pacific time. And so it was actually a lot more people actually crossing than I thought there would be this time of night on this particular day. But in any event, so we are now in Mexico, Tijuana proper, and it's pretty quiet. A lot of times it backs up here like mad. I mean, this can be a crazy wait here, but right now at this hour, there's really nobody. And even the line going into the U.S. there's nobody, which is honestly interesting. I rarely see that. Anyway, we're gonna get on the quota here. Again, the quota is Route 1, the toll road version of the Route 1. There's also the Libre, which is the non-toll road, the free version, which is where it's got all the stop signs, starts and stops. I guess you would consider the quota the express, if you will. Also another area where it's kind of fun sometimes. It really backs up, clogs up bad here. There's a big merging of different roads here. Always backs up. This time of night though, we're good to go. A lot of dust in the air around here. You are in the desert here. It's easy to forget that because you know all the city. But man, you get things, dust builds up like crazy on your windshield. On everything really. And where I live at the shore, at the ocean, it's brutal on everything. I mean, the corrosion, the rust, metal absolutely just goes really quickly. All my tools, all my power tools I brought from the U.S. have rusted, corroded. Half of them probably don't work anymore. It's brutal. It's really hard on electronics as well. Don't prepare to spend a lot of money on fancy, 100-foot TVs or whatever if you're going to live at the ocean, is my advice, at least at the ocean here, because it will not last that long. You'll be out without the money. Unfortunately, I'm not much of a TV person myself, but I do have, of course, all my work stuff, computers, monitors, etc. So far, they've held up pretty well. I try to protect them as best I can, but it's almost impossible with the elements. This is actually a lot more traffic than I was expecting. This road here is an interesting one. I think I kind of told the story about how it's not really clear who owns this road, the U.S. or Mexico. Where they built the border wall, that's the border wall here, right there. Apparently, this is still U.S. property or U.S. territory, but they couldn't build the border wall because of this road or whatever reasons are there. So they built it where they built it, but this is still U.S. territory officially, even though the wall is outside the wall. I guess there's quite a few places like that also that are somewhat controversial in terms of who. And if you have your Google Maps on or whatever, as you're going through here, it'll say welcome to the United States. Like 4 different times. It doesn't quite know where it's at. Yeah, I'm really actually shocked by this level of traffic here on a Monday evening. Worst can happen. There are, if you have when an accident on this particular road is absolutely devastating because it just backs everything up. There's no way around it. You can see how tight it is. You got these walls on both sides. If the highway is blocked here, you're done. Until that's cleared, and nobody's going anywhere. And that has happened a couple of times. Unfortunately, I haven't been stuck in one of those yet. Knock on wood, but I'm sure it'll happen at some point. So I'm trying to dig out my pesos here because we'll have a toll here to pay at some point. So that'll wait to go for that. But this part of Tijuana is notoriously smelly. I think there's open sewers and stuff around here. Like many parts of Tijuana. Not all that aesthetically pleasing. Again, my theory about the Mexican government and that they intentionally make this right as you get across the border real gritty, if you will, and kind of keep foreigners out kind of thing, because as soon as you get about a mile, if you just are a little patient, you get past the grittiness and it just becomes you get absolutely gorgeous. It becomes like a paradise almost, and it's like you get through all this grit and grime and you see how crappy it is and all you can still even hear about Tijuana, and then it's just like a gorgeous paradise. I don't know, it seems like easily they could try to develop this and try to make it less so. Maybe not. I don't know much about how the Mexican government works and such, but I probably should start learning that stuff. But it doesn't seem like there's a lot of efforts in that direction. It seems like they're mostly satisfied with the way things are, or they don't have the wherewithal or ability to change it. But there's some police activity. It's interesting. I think I told this before. A lot of times the police here, the Guardia Nacional, drive with their lights on at all times. So you don't know, it'll scare the crap out of you. You think you're getting pulled over, and all of a sudden you'll see flashing lights behind you. But they're not pulling you over. That's just how they drive at all times. So you do want to get out of their way, of course. But but that's just how they drive. They don't have the sirens on, they just have the lights on. It can be a bit disconcerting. I've yet to have any interactions with the police here, thankfully, knock on wood there again also, but the things I have observed is that they look like any other police forces are, as far as I can tell. At least the Guardia Nacional, which is what I see in, of course, the military, which is also a de facto kind of above the Guardia Nacional. They don't have a lot of the, I can't remember what they're called, the Trafico or something, or the Turistica or something, whatever. I don't know what they're called, but in other parts of Mexico, I guess there's a lot of these cops that are traffic police type. They're pulling people over and such, and oftentimes get tourists, and oftentimes they're extorting people for bribes and such. They don't really have those here, because I haven't seen any marked cars of that. I have heard stories, of course, of bribes being paid and whatnot, but again, I've not experienced that. I don't think that's as big of a deal here in Baja as it is in other parts of Mexico. Maybe I'm wrong. Hopefully that doesn't happen, or I don't know when to find out, but it's pretty intimidating. You can imagine, especially when you don't speak the language, being pulled over by a police that you don't know. You've heard all these rumors about how dangerous things are, this, that, and the other things. It's something you kind of dread. I'm always sort of dreading. Oh, it's good. Because you know it's going to happen at some point. It's got to happen at some point. And it's just a matter of how it's handled. And I think we'll have to see. I'm kind of rehearsing in my mind, but you never know until it actually happens, I guess. I think the keys, as with any interaction with law enforcement, be polite, be professional, be calm. Cross your fingers. Don't do anything stupid. I don't think, in general sense, most people, police are out there to do harm or to do any kind of evil doers or whatever people talk about. I think for the most part, people are good. I take that attitude about people in life in general. Some people think it's nuts to do that, but I think it's absolutely true. At least in my interactions with people. And, my wife's always on my case about how I'm not worried enough, and I'm too open, and I'm too concerned with security and this and that and the other thing. And I think maybe she's right to some extent, but I don't know. I'm one of these people. I don't want to live in fear. I just don't. Man, to me, that's like they want. Once I start worrying about stuff, then that's what they want. They want you to worry about stuff. And of course, criminals, they see that, they sense that, they know when people are scared, and that's the kind of people they target. People like me don't give a fuck. Pardon my French there. They tend to stay away from. At least that's my hope. So far, it's proved out pretty good. Yeah, this part is no man's land. I call this right here. This is before you get to the toll. So this road falls apart like there's potholes like crazy here. Of course, you can't really see them at night. And they try to they patch them kind of real piecemeal like. And I think once you get to the toll booth though, I think again because it's a toll road, so you have the tolls to fund it. And then the road gets very nice. The road condition really greatly improves. But this kind of no man's land here before the toll. It really kind of gets bad. I'm really looking forward to getting home. I've been on the road for 8 days, I guess now. It was a good trip, but it's tiring at me, Tanya. Unfortunately, at night you can't really see the ocean all, like you can during the day. You can see how pretty it is, but we're getting to the part where it starts to get real pretty, real quick. I've talked about driving in Mexico a few times on this series, and it's overall, to me, it's not just like driving in the U.S. really. It's pretty uneventful for the most part. People are pretty polite. People seem to follow the regular order, especially at stop signs and lights and such. I don't see a lot of aggressive driving. I haven't seen it. I'm sure it happens, but I haven't seen it. I'm sure there's a lot of tourists coming out here and trying to go nuts or whatever. But don't see a lot of people getting pulled over. But I guarantee it. I know if you go crazy, you're an aggressive driver, you will get caught. You will get pulled over. But they're not out here clocking people like you see in the U.S. Certainly not like you see in California, for the most part. This is a toll that eventually now we don't have to pay. We found out now, so we got to just go through the process here. I'll be able to use that Exclusivo lane over there. But for now, I'm not Exclusivo. I'm Regulo, so I have to go through the regular lanes here and pay. So this is an interesting one. I guess it's Buenos. I don't know what to say now at nighttime. I never know if I'm supposed to say Buenas noches or not. I'm gonna go with Buenas tardes just because I'm scared to say Buenas noches. I've heard you really shouldn't use that. I don't really know about that. I still am a little confused on the Buenas noches when it's okay to say that would be like a good night, good evening kind of thing. I don't hear it very often. I'm curious to see what the guy here actually says. Buenas noches. Gracias. There you go. He did. He said that's the first time I ever had anybody say buenas noches to me. Well, there you go. Okay, I guess I'm really wrong. Maybe it's with a female or something you're not supposed to say. I don't know what the deal is, but supposedly you're not supposed to say buenas noches at a certain time. I don't really know. I'll have to get into sort of the lowdown on that. I know a number of Mexican nationals, so I gotta ask that question too. But I've asked it before. I haven't really gotten a straight answer on it. But the guy said it. He had this big smile on his face too. And he said he was always having a grand old time there. I like those guys. They're usually pretty friendly. I've heard a lot of interesting. I've learned all my Spanish. I learned it from the toll booth guys. And they always say like a few things. That's probably why I remember them. But you can't really say bom dia. A lot of people say bom dia around here. I've talked about this before. Or good day. It's coming from the Portuguese bom dia, which I guess other parts of Mexico you don't hear that. But it's pretty common here. And I like to say, of course, it's being nighttime. I guess it would not be appropriate to say that. And I don't think you would say boa noche like they say in Portuguese for the night. Pardon my terrible Portuguese and terrible Spanish accents. I've asked Brazilian audience will no doubt be writing me a million letters. I do have quite an interesting history with Brazil. I really love the country. I absolutely love Brazil. Great place, man. It really is a fun place. It's fun. I almost moved there. I was really close to moving there, but it didn't work out. But I try to learn Portuguese. I actually had a Brazilian girl. That's why I was doing all this stuff. Now that didn't work out, but in any event, it didn't stick. So the Portuguese is basically all going. Not that it was ever all that there. But I did get an opportunity. I was in Brazil quite a few times. I had the opportunity to go to a soccer match not in Sao Paulo, outside Sao Paulo, and it was like I don't know, divisions or third division or something. I don't know what it was, like one of these lower division. But they're soccer crazy down there, football crazy. It's something that I've never experienced in my life. I mean, had the stadium, which was a fairly large stadium, a mid-sized stadium, had like there's two sections, what they call it, the family section, and then they had the fan section. And the fan section was in a cage. Before the match, they put a padlock on it, and they locked the cage. So they locked the fans in a cage. Literally, it's a cage, like a jail cell with a fence and all this stuff. They lock them in with a giant padlock. And then there's the family section, which is where we were sitting, where I was sitting in the family section, where they don't lock you in a cage. I guess they get pretty violent and such. It was really something else to see. And then outside the stadium, the security presence was immense, and it was absolutely so intimidating. I've never been intimidated in my life by police. They have these horses. I guess they're Clydesdales or something, but they're humongous and they're jet black. And it looks like they're right out of Lord of the Rings, dude, like Sauron's horse or whatever. The things are just like so scary looking. They're humongous. They gotta be 6 feet tall on their legs, and then these guys are sitting on them, full body armor, machine guns, every kind of gun you can think of, and there's like hundreds of them. And I guess they're just prepared for all kinds of trouble to break out. But no, man, I don't know how you can ever mess with these guys. It was really, really intimidating. It was pretty fun to see, but I don't think I want to be involved in any kind of an altercation with these people because man, these horses. They just looked mean. They really did not look friendly. I'm not a big horse guy. Horses kind of scare me a little bit. I know it's weird, but I feel like I like the way they look. Like they're thinking too hard or something. I don't know what it is. The way they get those big hooves and kick you, break your teeth out or whatever. I always feel like they're thinking they're gonna kick me. Anyways, these particular horses just looked really mean, really nasty. I would not want to get into any sort of altercation with anyone near them. Anyway, I don't know how I got up on the Brazil topic. We're in Mexico, but in Brazil and Mexico, nothing alike. One Central America, South America, they're nothing at all alike, really. I mean, the Spanish language, Portuguese language do have some commonalities, but they're pretty different too. Well, they have a lot of commonalities, I guess. Again, just my ignorance of language origins and such. Almost there. Ocean's there to the right. Can't see it, of course. Pitch black. I am going to try to take my dogs to the beach. I haven't seen them in 8 days tonight. They're going to be... I miss them. You can see some tankers out there on the water. There's a busy port there at Rosarito. Always tanker traffic going in and out. Which actually contributes, I think, to a lot of the pollution. They do have some pollution issues here with the water. The fecal column, or not the fecal column, the enteric oxide counts are higher than... I guess what's considered safe, but I still think I don't have a real problem with it. We're talking about 100, 10 CFU per 100 mils. I think the cutoff is 1. I can't remember the exact numbers or what the cutoff values are, but they're slightly higher than the cutoff values. And I think a lot of that has to do with bilge dumping driving those tankers. Alright, here's my complex here. Go San Antonio, Del Mar. This is the north entrance, which is not the main entrance. Let's turn headlights off so these guys can see me. That's our security force, our local security force. Good guys, for the most part. A lot of them, I think, are ex-military or whatever, ex-police. There's a ton of private security here in Mexico. I think it's overkill, in my opinion. I think a lot of it's for show. The guys are wearing body armor and such. I've heard rumors that there were shootings or what, there was some sort of shooting or something. I don't know if that's true. There's a lot of things you hear in Mexico that it's taken as fact, but really, if you dig into it, it's not exactly what happened or what occurred, and some of these things get really blown out of proportion. I think that happens a lot, especially in the area of crime. Anytime you just like one little thing happens, it gets blown out of proportion, and before you know it, it's a crime wave or whatever. But, hey, it's okay. I feel safe having them around. It's great having them. We have our own. They have their own. We have our own 911 system. Those guys will respond. You know, if we have neighbors, we have a lot of Airbnbs in the neighborhood. If they get rowdy or whatever, they're making too much noise, you can call those guys and come over and, you know, kind of intimidate them. And it's pretty intimidating, I think it's for tourists to come down here, Airbnb or whatever. You know, you have those guys all heavily armored and stuff show up at your door, like, turn your music down. You're going to turn your music down. You know, it's not like in the US you can say, screw you, private security guy or whatever, mall security dude. It's not like that here. Because you don't know who these guys are. They could be anybody. They could be cartel, they could be whatever. So if you're as a tourist down here, or an Airbnb, whatever. So they definitely get the job done. We need them to get the job done. None of them speak any English as far as I can tell. That's the one. I haven't met one yet that speaks a lick of English. So I don't really know any of them all that well. Maybe they do, they just don't share, but I haven't really met any of the security guys on a personal level at all. Which is interesting. I need to try and change that at some point. They're clearly highly trained. They certainly have some sort of skill set. That's why I think they come out of the military. Because the way they move and such, you can sort of tell. Almost there. You know, we are moving, and so they're not going to go past it. Well, yeah, we are. Okay, let's check and show you here. Yeah, we're coming up to we're moving to my new place. Wait, no, I missed it. I already missed it. Crap, I already missed it. Sorry. Oh well. Now I'm home already. Oh, I missed the new place. Anyways, the new place is like 10 houses up that way. All right, I'm home. That's it for episode 5. See you next time. Thanks.